This is Respectfully Outrageous with Nathan and Ben.
Today we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Week 6 game picks.
Hope you enjoy.
It's been no secret that Pittsburgh has struggled recently. What do you think the big issue is in Pittsburgh?
Honestly, I think it's everyone's playing individually. They're not playing as a team. If you look at it, Le'Veon Bell's like, oh, we didn't run the ball enough. He's asking for the ball more.
Good point.
Antonio Brown's frustrated when he's getting 4 catches. I mean, that's kind of the deal here. And then Big Ben, takes it upon himself and then throws 5 picks. So I honestly think that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to play more as a team. Their defense just questionable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're just playing too much like individuals and not enough to like a team. What do you think?
Well, I think it's kind of the fact that they're all divas. They're all stars. I mean, look at Le'Veon Bell. He's a fantasy star. He's a household name. Like Ben Roethlisberger, he's famous. You know him. Antonio Brown, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. There's nobody that's just... they're all pieces. They're all stars offensively. I mean, if you look at Dallas, the teams that have a lot of offensive talent, they're all humble. Like Julio Jones. You don't ever see Julio Jones complaining. You see him teaching on the sideline. Not that Antonio Brown's character is an issue.
Odell Beckham.
Don't even get me started on Beckham. Okay? Really shouldn't be... I kind of feel like I should feel sorry, but I really don't. Back to Pittsburgh. I think you're right. The mentality has to change in Pittsburgh of I want to fix it, or I'm the reason we're struggling, so I'm going to diva mentality, fix it myself. I think if they realize and they go back to the simple X's and O's and just kind of put motions aside, which is kind of hard to do for Pittsburgh, I think they'd be a lot better. And I think the solution for Pittsburgh winning games is not going to come from their killer bees. I think it's going to be like players like Juju Smith-Schuster.
Jesse James.
As well. Their backup running back, James Conner. And somebody on defense to step up. Somebody. I just don't really care. I mean, if it's Shazier, if it's Mike Mitchell not getting trucked by Leonard Fournette.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt's been absolutely sensational this year. So I think Pittsburgh needs to, I wouldn't say relax. The fan base has everything right to be upset. It's a mess. But if they realize that those 3 people can't win them every game, and they realize that there's 53 guys on a team for a reason, and they actually start respecting each other as such, they should be fine.
I think Pittsburgh really is the capacity, physically, athletically.
Yeah.
They have the talent there.
Oh, yeah.
The Big Ben can still throw the ball down the field and
Into
make some
defenders'
plays.
hands. I'm sorry.
It's possible for him to throw the ball down the field and actually, make some good plays.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to force it to Antonio Brown half the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Antonio Brown's not 6'5".
No.
He's not even 6 feet, is he?
He might be 6 foot or 5'11".
Okay, he's not that. He's not tall compared to some DBs and other really good wide receivers.
Right.
Le'Veon Bell just really hasn't. I'll go off topic a little bit on here. The running backs that we thought were going to be really good this year haven't been.
No.
You look at Bell, Zeke, and David Johnson. The top 3 that people are like, these are guaranteed. They're going to all go over 2,000 yards.
No, they're not. Le'Veon Bell has been. I don't know if it's the hiatus he took. If that's because the thing with happened with Cam, he didn't throw in preseason, or didn't throw in camp, didn't throw in preseason. He looked really raw against the 49ers. He looked really bad against the Saints, and then he got it going. So I don't know when the Patriots game is going to happen for Le'Veon Bell, and he's actually going to go off. I mean, he looked okay against the Ravens, but he was the whole team against the Ravens.
Well, and that's part of the issue. It's kind of like, who do you want to go off?
I think the whole issue of going off is the problem, is because they realize, okay, we have to give it to Le'Veon Bell now. We have to get it to Antonio Brown. We have to get to Martavis Bryant. And they just realize and just go, okay, let's not care about stats. Let's just get the first down, move down the chains, and actually win games. That's what's so successful for Atlanta, and that's why they've worked, is they don't actually go, okay, I'm going to get Julio Jones 120 yards. I'm going to get Devontae Freeman a bunch, then I'm going to hit Devin Coleman. It doesn't just worry about winning the game instead of stats and appeasing everybody, and I think they'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing, their coaching issue. I mean, you could say it's a coaching issue. You can say whatever you want with Mike Tomlin. I've heard people say he's not what is it? Who was it? Jimmy Johnson, who said
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin's a cheerleader and
Oh,
not
yeah,
not a coach or something like
and then they
that.
had the whole chirping back thing. I honestly think he's lost respect from the locker room.
I think so. I mean, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Great emotional leader. Kind of reminds me of a PJ Fleck, kind of the Gophers.
Yeah. I see that.
He's got a good, he's got good morale from what we can tell, obviously.
No,
But from what we know, we don't know how good of a coach he is, honestly, at this point, because I haven't seen much improve from the Steelers. Over the past couple of years, they've looked like the Steelers.
They've literally been the same team. Great offense, pretty mediocre defense, and the defense has just gotten worse.
Yeah.
And then it looked a little bit better last year. And I think he lost the locker room after the Chiefs game. That's when the locker room just left him. When Antonio Brown, he's not. Is he a captain? I don't know. Is he a captain? I think he is.
Maybe.
When the face of your franchise goes behind your back and does the whole Facebook Live thing, that's when I knew okay, these players don't respect him enough to keep his message quiet.
Correct.
There's got to be some kind of issue, and it's just snowballed into this catastrophe. To your point, I think physically, talent-wise, statistically, they could go really deep. Psyche-wise, I think they're scarred from New England, from the fact that they go all the way through the AFC playoffs, and they get to the AFC Championship game, get humiliated by New England, and if they realize that they're going to do it again, they're probably going to get beat up by another team. So I think that's messing with their psyche.
I think that's definitely true. And they're not in a difficult, division by all means.
No.
Or enough that they could still make the playoffs this year.
Right. As long as they don't, mess it up. I don't see Baltimore coming out of anywhere.
And I don't see the Bengals winning the division.
And we know about the Browns, so,
that's all you can do, right?
Right. So, I think they have, in summary, worry more about the game itself and then start playing as a team. And they should be fine.
Yeah, because, they're all focused on, hey, Le'Veon Bell, let's get him going for 150 yards. Well, you want to get the first downs.
Right. Because
you could get to third and 15, and Le'Veon Bell gets 14.
Right.
Or 13, and that's a lot of yards.
That changes the punt up completely.
Exactly, but you didn't get the first down.
Right. No. Another thing, the tantrums are not helping with Antonio.
No. Well,
he had every right to be upset with the.
I understand you're frustrated, but you got it again. That just shows that it's such an individualistic game that they're playing.
Right.
Le'Veon Bell, he said, we didn't run the ball enough. When he got 27 touches something like that?
Offensive balance. You're not
30?
You're not supposed to go 40 and 40 running and passing. You're not supposed to do that.
It's usually 60-40 passing.
Something like that. Carolina
is.
has the highest running to pass thing, and they also have the shovel passes in there, which kind of brings.
Dallas had it last year. I think they were 50 or 40.
And then Carolina was 60-40 or something like that running. So, I don't know if I think, honestly, it's kind of like the situation in New Orleans, not talent-wise, but you have to put it in Ben Roethlisberger's hands. But I think they have to stop realizing going down the field is their strength. And they should kind of do what Kansas City does and move methodically down the field, keep their defense off the field, and they should be more successful. Now, it's not going to appease anybody in Pittsburgh, but you're here to win games, not to get fantasy stats. So.
All right, so this is our, week 6 now, game picks?
I believe so, yeah.
Sorry we missed last week. I was out of town, so
busy.
We weren't able to get one out, but that's all right. We're resuming all this week. It's all good.
Yeah, all good.
We'll start with Ben this week.
Okay.
Like we usually do. So in the way I say the teams, it's gonna be the away team and home team.
Okay.
So the last team is gonna be the home team.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Miami Dolphins and Atlanta Falcons.
Miami's on the road, right?
Yes.
Okay. Atlanta. They're at home. I think Julio Jones is going to go off, and I really don't see Jay Cutler going into the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and winning. So Atlanta.
All right. Chicago Bears and Baltimore Ravens.
It's Joe Flacco. Baltimore. I think it's going to be closer than most people think. Not a high-scoring affair, but I do like Jeremy Maclin against the Bears secondary.
That's fair. What do you got for Cleveland Browns and Houston Texans?
Deshaun Watson. I mean, the battle of the Deshaun's. I mean, we saw it in the
Well,
ACC.
but is Deshaun Kaiser even going to start?
We don't even know. It doesn't matter if it's Kevin Hogan. It doesn't matter who it is for the Browns. Might as well put Dave Chappelle up in there. It doesn't matter. They're not going to win. Houston's really good, and they're probably going to be playing with a lot of pride after what happened to J.J. Watt, and they're going to like rally around that. So I think Houston should blow them out.
I agree with that one. Well, I guess.
Well, you're going to get your own.
Yeah. Now this one is big where we live. It's the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings.
Everyone knows what's going to happen. You have the best quarterback in the NFC North going up against the scrub. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to win. Enough said. It's just, I mean, the Vikings, they don't even have, the starting quarterback's not playing. Their best running back is out. Hope he recovers quick. He looked really good so far this season. But I just don't see the Vikings. We don't even know if Stephon Diggs is going to play.
He's not. He's
He's out. So that means double coverage on Adam Thielen. The Packers defense is hoping to look better after what happened to the Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers is as hot as he's been for a while, so I'm taking the Packers.
All right. Detroit Lions in New Orleans.
I'll take Detroit. Drew Brees hasn't been the same at home this year. And I think the Lions, after 2 gut-wrenching losses, are going to try to get back together. I can see really the Lions going off against the Saints defense is looking better than it has, which is really not saying much. But I can see the Lions winning this one kind of handily.
Kind of handily.
Yeah.
Good.
Like a
good,
10
good
points.
description.
Like a 10 to 13 point margin.
Okay. New England Patriots and the New York Jets.
I mean, part of me is saying, well, the Patriots have a really bad offensive line. Tom Brady's old. The Jets have a good pass rush. But it's Patriots. I wanted to say the Jets. I really thought about this one for a while, but it's Tom Brady. What are they going to Jets throw at him to stop him? So I'm going to take the Patriots.
Okay. The next one. I already said that. San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins.
Taking the Niners.
Interesting.
People are saying, like, Kirk Cousins, this is his game to go off because he could potentially play for the 49ers. But people are saying the Redskins look really good. It's like, they didn't impress me when they played the Chiefs. They didn't. Kansas City didn't look really great. I'm going to take the 49ers simply because they've been close against some really good teams. And I kind of feel like Kyle Shanahan's going to have some wrinkles against the Redskins, even though he coached there for a little bit.
I will say, I guess it's not my picks, but Kyle Shanahan has gone to overtime.
Yeah.
Almost in past 2 or 3 weeks.
If you keep going into overtime, eventually you're going to happen to win. If you try to lose, eventually you'll win. It's just, It just happens.
Okay. So you picked San Francisco on that one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Arizona Cardinals.
It's a toss-up, man. It's a toss-up. I'm thinking the Cardinals. Jameis has really been spotty this year. The Cardinals are at home. They have Larry Fitzgerald. And I just don't see the Buccaneers coming up with... They don't look like a team mentally that's like a
They're not there yet.
So, I don't see Deshaun Jackson. He's been missing all year, so I'm going to have to take the Cardinals.
All right. LA Rams and Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is the game of the week, people. The game of the week.
It is at 3 o'clock, so I mean it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. I'm saying this one's coming down to the wire. We're not going to get overtime, but you got 2 great running backs going at it. A pretty good quarterback and a pretty awful one. 2 young coaches. Not young, but, Doug Marrone's younger experience-wise. I'm going to take the Rams. I really wanted to take the Jaguars for a little bit, but, Jared Goss impressed me this year. Todd Gurley's been good. That Rams defense, what they did to Seattle, they kept them close. And, well, let's just say the Jaguars offensively aren't Seattle, so I'm gonna take the Rams in a close one.
All right. Now this one I think is gonna also be an interesting game. That's my thought. Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs.
Shouldn't be. Really shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. The Chiefs should destroy them, but knowing what's happened in Arrowhead recently, Kansas City by the skin of their teeth. Alex Smith, game manager. Chiefs are going to come out storming, and Pittsburgh is going to have to do what they do best: throw themselves into games and come out almost a winner. But it's going to come down to Andy Reid being the better coach, so the Chiefs should win.
Okay. LA Chargers and Oakland Raiders.
Ugh. Derek Carr's back, correct?
I am not sure.
I think he's set to come back. Hope he comes back. If Carr's in there for the Raiders should win because they are desperate. And
yes, he will. Yes.
And I need them to win, so I don't look like an idiot in the AFC West. I'm gonna take the Raiders. I just don't like Philly Rib, so I'll take the Raiders.
Okay. Sunday night game: New York Giants and Denver Broncos.
Why are we putting massacres on TV these days? I just don't get it.
Just wait for Monday night game.
I mean, what are the Giants capable of doing without Odell Beckham Jr.? They don't have a run game. They don't have an offensive line. Their defense isn't good. Their receivers are like all in the hospital.
Their three main receivers last game all went out with injuries.
Their starting receiver is like what?
It's not even Sterling Shepard anymore.
It's Travis
Roger Lewis, right?
It's like Roger Lewis went to Bowling Green, and then the guy they drafted, the free agent they signed from Florida State. Yes, they're gonna get killed. They're gonna get steamrolled. I mean, the Broncos probably should put 40 on them. Okay, if you have Broncos defensive players, start. I mean, if you have not Broncos defense players, if you have the Broncos defense, start it. I wouldn't say start Simeon, but Broncos handily.
Okay. Monday night game: Indianapolis Colts and Tennessee Titans.
Ugh.
But by the way, Marcus Mariota is questionable.
Yes. This game's gonna be ugly to watch. Turnover. It's gonna be turnover Monday. Turnover. It's gonna be. If Marcus Mariota comes back, their offense can't be worse than it has been. I mean, what else? The lack of creativity for Tennessee's offense is like Viking style. It's just horrendous. It's horrific. Being said, with no Andrew Luck, I'm gonna take the Colts. Without a guarantee of Mariota, I like Jacoby Brissett, and the Colts really don't have to do much to stop Tennessee because their running game, whether it's been Derrick Henry or DeMarco Murray, has really just fallen off a cliff after Seattle. It's just been disgusting. It's been awful. So I think the Colts are gonna win. I think Jacoby Brissett is gonna actually have a passing touchdown finally. So,
interesting. Yeah. All right, so now it's my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Miami, Atlanta. There's a clear choice here, and it's definitely not Jay Cutler.
Okay, guess what your choice.
I'm going to take Matt Ryan and the Falcons. I'm not a huge fan of Atlanta's success this year. However, Miami's lack of success is more glaring than Atlanta's. So I have to go with Atlanta on this one.
Good point.
I mean, Jay Cutler's, they've scored what? They've scored one touchdown in the past 3 weeks.
And I thought Tennessee was bad.
Yeah, okay, so that's enough said. Chicago and Baltimore, I'm going to take Chicago. I like how they played against the Vikings last week. And I think the Vikings are much better than the Baltimore Ravens because Joe Flacco does have the second lowest passer rating in the league, only to Deshaun Kaiser.
What is this next gen stats episode here, Colleen Wolf? What is going on? You do you, man. You do you. It's your money. Put your money where your mouth is.
I like Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard. I think they'll go off against a PC Ravens defense, and I'm gonna take Chicago on that one.
Okay.
Cleveland and Houston. I'm taking Houston. Deshaun Watson's really clicked with his receivers and with this offense. He just has clicked and it's great. And you know what? I said this in one of our first episodes, and I said, you know what? Deshaun Kaiser's the best quarterback in this draft.
Kaiser? Deshaun Kaiser.
No. Deshaun Watson.
I thought it was Mahomes, but you can't judge him on something.
You can't say that yet.
Well, he is.
But I so far that's stand corrected, and I think he's really just He really fits the scheme well. He's got great receivers. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins caught 3 touchdowns last week. Will Fuller's caught 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. I mean, it's just been phenomenal for Houston. They've been steamrolling. I'm going to take them. Green Bay and Minnesota, I got to take the Packers.
Good choice.
Aaron Rodgers is playing well as usual. Minnesota, they have too much drama. You know, Dalvin Cook goes down. Then they have Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon. I will say Jerick McKinnon's better when you don't start him. I don't know if you've seen that ever, but
yeah,
when
he comes off he's like the best running back ever to fill in. Besides
for sure. Like he's a great backup in a third down. Like pass catching, he's great.
Like if you put him in Tevin Coleman's role, he would just
it'd be great. But I can't take Latavius Murray leading that rushing offense and Case Keenum's in again, and you know what? It's Case Keenum. I mean, he throws for 395, but he was or 359 or whatever. But he was playing the Bucs, and the Bucs haven't really had a good defense this year. And Green Bay's defense is good enough to stop the run that Case Keenum's not going to throw them into the game.
They held the Seahawks scoreless in the first half, which people don't remember. People sleep on that. The fact that the Packers defense held the Seahawks.
But it's also the Seattle offense. So
offensive line.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm
going to take Green Bay on that one. Obviously. Detroit, New Orleans. I have a tough time with this one because New Orleans has been actually putting up some numbers on offense. Drew Brees has been looking good these past few weeks. He didn't start out great. Mm-hmm. He's been, he's back in his rhythm a little more. That defense actually has allowed, 13 points in the last 2 games, but they also played Miami, so there's not much to show there. But I gotta go with Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Matt Stafford can throw you back into a game.
Absolutely.
And they're just gonna rip New Orleans defense, I think. And I also think Detroit's defense is good enough to stall Drew Brees enough to 2 or 3 touchdowns, which then Matt Stafford can throw you back in the fourth quarter.
I think Darius Slay's gonna redeem himself, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, Darius Slay.
Yeah, I agree. New England and New York Jets.
Don't do it. Don't. It's a tempting.
I'm taking New England.
It's a tempting offer.
It's tempting because the Jets have been winning.
Yeah.
Winning. I mean, like plural. They've won games, which is more than we thought they would.
We thought they were going 0-16. Honestly, by the way, Todd Bowles is like, okay, he needs a statue right now. He needs a statue. Give it to him. You put it up there. Greatness. This is a miracle, man. Yeah.
So
without Quincy Enunwa,
who's their number 1? I mean, they got Jermaine Kearse, but he's not doing phenomenal either.
It's Carlos.
But here's what I'm thinking. The Jets are the Jets, and the Patriots are the Patriots, but the Patriots have been less than what we've expected, and the Jets have been more. So I think it's going to be closer than what we thought than at the beginning of the season, but I still got to go with New England on this one. I mean, even with Tom Brady injured and Rob Gronkowski, having issues with his thigh or whatever, I got to take the Patriots on this one, even though their defense is really PC.
Is that your favorite term now, PC?
Or it has a bunch of holes in it. I mean, you could say that too. People have been threading their defense.
Or it's just non-existent.
I mean, it has been. It's one of the worst defenses in the 21st century.
In history, actually.
And as far as I know, Bilal Powell's questionable, and that's their only really good playmaker on offense, except for this McGuire kid, which, again, he's like Jerick McKinnon. He's better when he's backup. So I got to take him with him.
Marcus Jones in the Eagles. Never mind. Continue.
San Francisco and Washington. I'm going to take 49ers.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like Kyle Shanahan, growing pains. Brian Hoyer's looked pretty good. Pierre Garçon, they have been feeding the man, and it's been working. People have always, not really looked at Pierre Garçon, and I've always been a big fan of him since he was on the Colts.
Here we go again, Colts player. Here we go again.
But they've been feeding him, and it's been working. And, these tight ends, it's been working. Kyle Shanahan's been getting them to the overtime. They've been losing in close ones. And Washington, is too inconsistent for me to pick them to win. I got to take 49ers. Tampa Bay and Arizona, I got to take AZ on this one. Carson Palmer's been looking pretty good in the absence of David Johnson. However, the only thing about the Cardinals that I'm a little worried about is how they're going to handle the run game now that I have AP.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it works. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him, 15 carries. I wouldn't personally give him 15 carries, but I don't know. I still take Arizona. Tampa Bay's just been too inconsistent. I haven't seen the Tampa Bay that we were used to seeing before, so I got to take Arizona until we see that Tampa Bay. LA Rams and Jacksonville. You know who I'm going to pick on this one?
You're going to take the Jaguars.
No, I'm not. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams with Ben's Hall of Fame quarterback because...
I didn't say he was a Hall of Fame quarterback. I just said he was really good.
You definitely said he was a Hall of Fame quarterback one day.
You
said it at lunch. You're like, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Look at those stats. He's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
If I look at those stats, it's like the track record that he's on, the path that he's on. He's got a great coach. He's got receivers. He's got talent. He's got a city that believes in him. Look at the success rate. All he has to do is basically not do anything stupid.
Anyway, I got to take LA because run games, both teams are great. Defenses, pretty similar. Jacksonville's got a good secondary. So the matchup really going to be here because Blake Bortles sucks. So the matchup here is going to be between Jared Goff and the Jacksonville secondary. If Jared Goff can avoid the turnovers, unnecessary turnovers,
just don't go after Jalen Ramsey.
Exactly. Don't have it tipped at the line.
Good
throw
point.
it to Antonio Brown every play. Anyway, I think Jared Goff can do it. I think Todd Gurley, there'll be a good mix there, and that's the reason I don't pick Jacksonville because all they can do this season is defense and run the ball. And Blake Bortles has been a no-show at every game, so I got to take LA. Pittsburgh and Kansas City. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I heard you. I just want to make sure.
I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City has started undefeated, and it's been the last undefeated team for multiple years now. Not in a row, just they have been in multiple years. Not one of those years have they gotten past the first round of the playoffs.
They play good talent. Okay, continue.
I think Pittsburgh's going to rebound after a horrendous game by Ben Roethlisberger. I think they're going to feed Le'Veon Bell the ball. And honestly, I don't like what Kareem Hunt has really started to fall in production. He started out really well. I haven't seen the same from him. Travis Kelce's got a concussion. This is such a tough one. But I like Pittsburgh, especially after such a weird game and the weird week. I think I got to take them. I will. Plus, Pittsburgh has won 5 of their last 6 games against the Chiefs.
Okay, you do you.
LA Chargers in Oakland. Derek Carr's coming off an injury that apparently was bad at the first point when he got injured, but he'll be back this week, 1 week. I gotta take... LA's getting Mike Williams back.
Okay.
However, LA Chargers struggled to win against the New York Giants, so I have to take the Oakland Raiders on this one.
Good choice.
Marshawn Lynch hasn't really been looking like beast mode. There have been glimpses, and they haven't been feeding the ball as much just because he's old. Whatever, say what you want, but I got to take Oakland on this one. LA struggled too much to win games, and Oakland has shown that they can win games. So I'm going to take
just not against Washington.
New York Giants and Denver Broncos. Clear choice, Denver Broncos.
Good.
No explanation needed. Monday night game. I'm going to go with you on this one and take the Colts. I'm liking their Marlon Mack kid, that running back, that rookie there. I think he's the successor to Frank Gore, which The Colts haven't had a really good runner in forever. I mean,
Since the Peyton days.
when they had what, Joseph Adai?
Yeah.
Who was their best one. And honestly, I gotta say, I like the Colts on this one. Tennessee's just
Ew.
inconsistent. I mean, Mariota, we don't know if he's gonna play. First off, I might even pick the Colts if Mariota was playing, because it's very similar. DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry need to step up, along with the offensive line if there's issues there.
Yep.
They just need to get the ground game going because that's what makes Mariota good. Kind of like a Dak Prescott. You get the run game going, you can do a bootleg and get him out of the pocket, and boom, you got him. Scramble for 15 yards. I got to take Indianapolis Colts on this one. You got any other comments?
No, Tennessee is kind of like bad yogurt. It may look good until you read the label and you go realize, ew, gross. But yeah, Colts are going to win it. Nothing really else. The Cowboys have a bye week, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I want to make sure.
And I don't know who else has a bye. I'm trying to think. Buffalo, yes, has a bye. Cincinnati has a bye.
They can't lose this week.
And then there's one more that I am forgetting. AFC West is all playing. AFC East.
Yep, because Philly played Carolina.
Yeah.
Sad advice.
AFC North. Yeah, we said Cincy. AFC South, Texans, Colts, yeah, they're playing. NFC, Seattle, 49ers. Oh, Seattle's not playing. Seattle's not playing. Seattle, Cincy, Dallas, and I forgot the last one.
Yep.
But we got them some. Just rewind it. So we're trying a little shorter episode. It's might even be just around half an hour. We just shaved off a couple minutes. If you want to be on the show, please hit us up.
Okay.
I know we do have one person in line we weren't able to get to this week because of time constraints, but we plan to have more people on the show.
Yeah.
And bring in some, new looks, something like that.
Outrageous commentary to spice it up, so it's not us just.
Well, yeah, and it gives you guys something new to watch too. I hope you guys have been liking the video. This is our second one.
Yeah, second.
The first one seemed to get really good response. We had over 45 views from what I haven't even checked in a
People
while.
were like, yeah, we have something to look at. I was like, you have a black screen before. Don't see a difference.
So, I mean, that's good. If you have any other additional comments, the contact information will be at the end of this video, as well as you can leave comments. And you can't have the excuse that, I don't have a YouTube account, because it literally takes maybe a minute to set up a free Gmail account.
Actually, honestly, if you have a Google account for anything,
you can use it. Just use it.
Use it, and else they're going to ask you, do you want the same password? And you'd be like, yes.
So, it's very easy, because that would really help us out. We're really trying to improve our situation. We know the face cam's not great resolution right now.
Yeah,
we're trying to find alternative options, but
solutions.
When we're at school too, it's just kind of difficult to do both at the same time. So,
yeah.
Hope you enjoy this episode and enjoy your week 6 of the NFL.